And we're live.
All right. Good morning and welcome to show number 2. It's the Pete Braley Show. I'm Pete Braley along with my son Matt, and we're live.
For the first time.
We are live, yes
We're
indeed.
a little bit late, but that's okay. I'll take the blame on this one, just some technical stuff.
Yeah, and we were also trying to post a link of
Exactly.
How people can find us. But the funny thing is we could have been live yesterday.
Yes. Technically, yes.
Yeah. We told you that, getting ready for show number 1, we found out that you had to be authorized by YouTube, and it could take up to 24 hours. Well, we got up yesterday and found out that we were approved.
Yep.
At like 7:30.
We don't know the exact time. After I posted the video, I checked, and we were approved. So we could have gone live. But we had rehearsed to get ready for the show with some of the material. And then we recorded that video. So that would have been like the 4th or 5th time that we've done that show.
Let me tell you this story, Matt, and react to it like you're just hearing
exactly.
it.
And we were watching the video yesterday, and we were like kicking ourselves like, oh, we did that funnier the second time or the third time. And so now it'll be fun because it's live. So we'll have nothing to compare it to.
And we want to hear from you, right? Explain the chat.
So since we're live, we do have the live chat going on that I'll be keeping an eye on here. So if you have anything to say, if you want to say what's up, or if you have a question, or you hate us, don't say that. But no, leave it in the live chat. If you're watching this later on in the day, you can also comment on the video. And, like always, you can DM us on Instagram, Facebook, or send us an email at thepetebraleyshow@gmail.com.
All right. We got some nice comments yesterday. Andrea commented, she said, I enjoyed your first show. I listened in my car as I was out doing errands. Just like old times, you still got it.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. And Anne said she watched us on YouTube on the TV. She said it was great, show number 1. You and your son kept our attention. Charlie is adorable. By the way, Charlie the puppy is currently in his bed.
Yes.
Just off camera.
He's playing with his toys. He's being very good. We'll see if that lasts.
Yeah. He was, scratching his back, just rolling around on his back.
Yep.
But that guy, can you see this on camera?
Yep.
He's in that puppy biting
He
stage.
draws blood. I'm going to be honest, though. It's just you and Trish. Me, I do not have a problem with that. So I guess he respects me more than you guys.
I don't know. I guess when we go to bed, he likes to play or something.
That's true.
I don't know. But yeah, he draws blood. So anyway, back to Anne's comment here. She says, you and your son kept our attention. Charlie's adorable. We'll be watching again, set up on my YouTube TV. So it'll play on, she set up her YouTube so it'll play on her TV.
Look at that. Pete Braley on the radio, now he's on TV.
Now on television.
Now on television.
I wonder if it's a big screen, right? I wonder how big my face is.
Is it too big? Do all of our flaws get really brought out?
Does this get magnified?
Yeah, is that massive over there? Yeah.
She says, thanks a lot for a great show number 1, and brings back a lot of memories of that ride to work each day. Yeah, that's one thing we kind of take for granted sometimes, I think, in the radio business. And, Scott Renish could relate to this, how sometimes, we're sitting in a room doing this, and we don't realize what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Like how many cars have I been in over the years,
It's very true.
on that drive to work?
Charlie's now getting up and wandering around, so I really hope he doesn't have an accident in here.
He's playing with his pig right now. So
As long as he doesn't chew wires, that's it.
He's going to bump a camera.
Probably.
He's going to bump a camera.
Probably. It's bound to happen.
So it is Wednesday. This is show number 2. And just to let you know, this is National Leave the Office Early Day.
So that's going to do it for us.
Right.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
I think it's important I tell you that at 8 in the morning so that you can plan your day.
There we go.
It's also National Running Day, the day designated as a way for runners to reaffirm their passion for running and for beginners to make a life-changing commitment to start running.
I don't think I'll ever understand the passion for running.
I would agree with you.
We'll need to talk to some people. Like Uncle Jim likes to run, doesn't he?
Yep, Jim Marshall. Yeah, he runs
we'll have to talk to him.
Marathon. My friend Lynn Poyant runs these trails and does these 100-mile runs.
Yep. I personally don't get it. I really want to run, but every time I do, I want to die. So I don't know.
And I've always said that I've never seen a runner look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, right?
You know?
It doesn't look like they enjoy it at all.
How many times have you passed a runner And they just, I mean, they're in their zone, I guess.
Yeah. If you love running, I have a ton of respect for you.
Oh, well, yeah.
I just don't understand you at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
On the date book here, it was on this day in 1953, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in Westminster Abbey in London. The only reason I mention that is I'm a big fan of The Crown. So that was a big thing on that show. And on this day in 1935, Babe Ruth announced his retirement as a player at the age of 40.
It's really fascinating to think about Babe Ruth playing in the league like nowadays. He would not be good at all. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, he'd be. What was it? Hot dogs and beer was his diet.
That was his thing.
And like pitching back then was nothing compared to pitching now. So it's pretty crazy how the game's evolved.
Yeah, could he get around on Clayton Kershaw?
I don't think so.
I don't.
No.
Coming up today, I had a fun day at the dentist recently, and I will salute anybody that does that for a living. I made it on a certain list, but it'll be a shame if it ever gets to me. I'll tell you which list in just a few minutes. An amazing rescue story from over the holiday weekends. What do the experts say? Is it safe to hug? Have we reached that point of the pandemic here? And why is Pete in a walking boot? Yeah.
The world will never know.
What's wrong now? We'll get to that in just a few minutes. First, a look at the news this morning. New Bedford City Councilor Hugh Dunn is facing multiple charges, including driving while under the influence in connection with a hit-and-run crash. Bristol County District Attorney Thomas Quinn says a state police detective assigned to his office has completed his investigation into the May 1st crash.
Charlie's making his appearance now.
I guess, yeah. On May 1st, New Bedford police responded to South Water Street shortly after 1:20 in the morning after receiving a 911 call about a possible crash. The responding officers found Dunn, who was driving his Hyundai Genesis, some distance from a damaged Chevrolet pickup truck and a Toyota RAV4 sport utility vehicle. 21-year-old Cole Buckley, that Celtics fan accused of throwing a water bottle at Kyrie Irving at the TD Garden, is now due in court today. It was supposed to be yesterday. 21-year-old Buckley is charged with one count of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. And yes, they do consider a water bottle dangerous. The world's largest meat company was hit with a cyber attack that shut down production at processing plants in the U.S., Canada, and Australia, raising concerns about capacity shortages and price increases for consumers. The White House said the attack likely came from Russia. The attack on the meat processor came less than 3 weeks after a ransomware attack by a group of Russian cyber criminals forced Colonial Pipeline to shut down, creating a gas panic across much of the South and Mid-Atlantic.
Sorry, I do have to interrupt because he's chewing a wire.
Oh, okay.
Don't do that, buddy.
Yeah, let's not.
I don't want you to hurt yourself.
The show could end just like that.
Sorry about that. Continue.
Yeah. Officials in southeastern Massachusetts are warning residents to beware of bears after they've been spotted in several towns, including Taunton and East Bridgewater. Officials posted on social media, "We are reaching out because for the past couple of weeks, what appears to be a 2 to 3-year-old male black bear has been roaming about Bristol and Plymouth counties." A piece of space junk smashed into the International Space Station and damaged the orbiting lab's robotic arm, according to NASA. A puncture in the arm's protective thermal covering was noticed during a routine inspection, but the nearly 60-foot robotic arm remains functional. The collision highlights the growing threat posed by orbital debris as the narrow band of space around Earth becomes increasingly crowded with satellites, spent rocket parts, and other wayward objects. It's just a bunch of trash.
Yeah, it's becoming a real problem.
Experts have said the problem is magnified by society's dependence on satellite systems for telecommunications, GPS, and other everyday conveniences.
Yeah, I remember it was a couple months back. They had a hole on the space station. They didn't know where it was. They just knew that air was leaking, but they didn't know where it was. I don't know if they ever found it.
I would hope so.
I'm not sure.
We'll get to sports in a minute after we salute dentists and oral hygienists. What happened was I went to the dentist the other day, and it was an interesting experience because, as we've mentioned, I've been away for a year and a half down in Virginia Beach. So first we had the coronavirus where I guess the dentist was closed for like a month, right? Because it wasn't safe to go to the dentist. And then they opened, and I just couldn't make an appointment anytime I was back here. Because they all had that, have you traveled in the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, because you had to quarantine. So you never really left the house when you came home.
No.
Yeah.
So, there was quite a bit of digging, and I was happy to say that the gums look pretty good. And I do have one cavity, though.
Ooh.
Which I even texted, I texted your mom, and I said, who even gets those anymore?
Yeah, I can say, knock on wood, I've never had a cavity.
Never?
Which is funny because I get yelled at the dentist every time I go. Which...
Do you really get yelled at, or are they just...
In my opinion, I have to be careful because I don't know if the dentist is going to watch this.
Yeah,
because
she
does know that we're doing this. Yeah. But I get yelled at for not flossing every time, and I feel like I'm looked down upon. And I brush my teeth like 4 to 5 times a day. Like, I'm really good with brushing my teeth.
I think everybody gets picked on for
Who
flossing.
flosses, though? That's all I'm saying.
That's my question. Do you floss on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I only floss if there's something stuck in my teeth.
I used to be the same, but I do want to say, if the dentist is watching, I have flossed every day since my last appointment.
He's making this his mission now.
Yes, this is just to prove a point. So if I show up and they still look the same, then we're going to have to talk because I don't know. I've been flossing every day.
And if you show up and they say, well, you really need to floss.
Yeah, I'll be like,
day.
Well, I have been.
His own little experiments.
We've already run out of floss twice now. So if that's not proof, then I don't know what is.
All right, let's check sports this morning. The Red Sox lost another game to the Astros last night, 5-1. They will play again tonight, and then they have a game tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a Thursday afternoon getaway game. Celtics were eliminated last night, losing to Brooklyn by a score of 123-109. And I'm also seeing clips this morning that LeBron left the game early last night.
Did he? I saw something about it, but I don't really know the story.
I guess the Lakers were getting blown out, so with like 5 minutes to play, maybe, he left. And I
think he's done that before, too, if I'm correct. I think it was one of the finals games against the Warriors, I think.
I'm going to have to look into that more because that's not a good look.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't agree with that.
Bruins forward Jake DeBrusk has been fined for his hit on Scott Mayfield of the New York Islanders during Game 2 Monday night. DeBrusk was fined $5,000, which is the maximum allowable under the NHL's collective bargaining agreement. That was for a cross-check. The incident occurred at 13:04 of the third period. And finally this morning, what do you think about Naomi Osaka? The Naomi Osaka story. Monday, she announced her withdrawal from the French Open. She said that she would not take part in the press conferences after the match to protect her mental health. The world's number 2 ranked women's tennis player also said she has been dealing with depression since 2018 and will take some time away from the court for now. So, I don't know. Those post-game press conferences very rarely give you anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to talk to the winner, and they might tell you their strategy.
If anything, it makes a funny clip. It's pretty generic questions every time, I feel like.
But she is just in a position where she didn't want to go. But that's part of the agreement. If you want to play in this tournament, you're going to talk to the press.
Yeah. I do think it's important what she's doing. I think we're in a interesting transition phase where mental health is actually really becoming an important thing that people talk about, whereas it wasn't. And I think we're in that bridge to where it's actually taken seriously. So I kind of agree with it. I think it's a big deal, and I don't know. I just feel like more thought needs to be put into it. If she had the flu or something, she wouldn't have to go. I feel like so, and I feel like it's a similar, situation. Obviously, there's no visible signs of her being sick, but there's some invisible signs there. So I don't think you should be forced to do something if you're really going through it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of her fellow tennis players are also coming forward, agreeing with her.
Yeah.
All right, coming up. Did you ever wonder how much money the child actors make on these TV shows? It's not bad. I'll get to that next. But first, how did this all come? Oh, I had to.
Yeah, you had to make a call yesterday.
I had to call. Well, today I have to go out to that Hawthorne Medical Conglomerate.
Yep.
So huge place.
And I got to drive you because you're in the boot.
I'm in the boot. I can't drive. Oh, sorry. I just hit Charlie with the boot.
Oh, goodness. I forgot he was over there.
The MSPCA is going to be after us. You okay, Charlie? Okay. Yeah, yesterday I called out to Hawthorne Medical, and I got put on hold. And so, doesn't everybody? I just put the phone on speaker, and I started doing something else,
Yep.
So while it was playing, you were really enjoying that on hold music.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I was dancing to really terrible music, but it's just fun.
So we got to wondering, is there a place that you go to get this terrible on hold music?
And how do you decide what you're going to choose? I started to think it's got to be some sort of psychological like trick that they're trying. Like it's very calming music most of the time, so I feel like they're trying to keep you calm, especially if you're like yelling at Debbie about, I don't know, something crazy. You're just screaming at her and they want you to calm down while you're on hold, which probably doesn't work. Yeah, it's very like instrumental, like old school, just calming music. But I see what I think. I think you should give them like something epic. Make them feel important. Like play some like our intro music has like, it's very tom heavy, like do. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. That could be fun.
You want to create your own on hold music
company? Maybe I'll just make a company strictly to keep people on hold and play good music.
Then if the music is really that good, they're not going to want to...
Yeah, they'll just hang up. They'll be satisfied.
Right.
They'll be like, I feel like I got what I came here for.
Or when someone picks up the phone, they'll be disappointed.
Exactly.
Say, hey, I was enjoying that.
I do have to say, we were looking for an example of hold music to play, and I actually couldn't find an example of bad hold music.
Everything you found was too good.
Yeah, like there was an example of Google's hold music, which was good. I forgot the other companies, but it was like a list of the most popular companies hold music, and it was all like what I was talking about, like upbeat good music. And I was like, well, this doesn't work. But it's the smaller companies that just have really cheap, terrible hold music.
And like getting to entertainment news, just one Hollywood headline here. TMZ.com is reporting that Marvel Studios series WandaVision, it features a handful of child actors, some of whom took home a pretty good paycheck to appear in even just one episode. According to his contract, 12-year-old Gabriel Gurevich, who played young Pietro, took home the most. He brought home $7,673 just for a couple of weeks' work. Meanwhile, Wanda Maximoff and Vision's twins, played by 8-year-old Gavin Borders and 7-year-old Balin Bielitz, they each earned $3,836 for 1 week on the job playing the roles of Tommy and Billy.
See, it surprises me that, that was because they were in the phase of growing up, right? So because at first I was like, how did the twins get paid that much? But okay, that makes sense now.
And last but not least is 13-year-old Sofia Gaidarov. She was on set for just 1 day to play young Wanda, and she got paid $1,105.
How come you never had me get into acting when I was younger?
Yeah, I guess.
What is this? We could have made some money.
I guess I missed the boat on that. The kids' compensation is all laid out in their minors' contracts, which must be filed in court. It is not clear if any of them are coming back for season 2. Yes, there will be a season 2.
Nice. Did you like WandaVision?
I did.
Some people didn't like it. I loved it. They thought it was because it was different.
It was very hokey.
Well, the first couple episodes were because it was
and. It took me a couple of minutes to realize that they were a parody of sitcoms I used to watch.
Yeah,
like there was a parody of Bewitched.
Yep.
Or I'm trying to think of some of the other shows, but I liked it.
Yeah, I can't remember. But it was also interesting how the sitcoms as time went on, it was like newer sitcoms. Right. So the most recent like sitcom based episode was Modern Family and The Office in the same episode. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was weird because it wasn't like a traditional Marvel movie in the beginning. But I liked it. It was a nice change of pace.
That's on Disney Plus, right?
Yes, and the new series Loki comes out June 9th. So a week. Ooh. Is it a week from today? Can I do my math right?
Yeah, a week from today.
It's weird that it's releasing on a Wednesday. So I hope that's right. Normally it's Fridays.
That's true,
yeah, we'll see.
All right, welcome. Show number 2. It is a Wednesday morning, and again, if you have any comments, we'd love to hear from you in the
live chat.
In the live chat,
yes.
Or you can contact us, of course, through any of our socials and the email. Yes, I made the list. If you're wondering what list are you talking about.
Oh, Charlie's here.
Can we get Charlie?
Yeah, get Charlie. Charlie's here.
Hello, my friend. Would you like to say good morning?
He's probably going to start chewing on something. We'll see.
Pull up my headphones here. So let's see if Charlie's on the list. No, he's not.
Charlie does like to move the tablet screen, so he likes to lick the screen and the tongue moves stuff. So be careful. Yeah.
The list I'm talking about is the list of hurricane names for this year. I always look to see if I made the list, and for years I never did, but this year I did. Now, the reason I said if it gets to my name, it'll be a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm 16th on the list.
The sad part is it might. Hurricanes are happening all the time now, I feel like. Not as bad every time, but they're definitely getting more frequent.
So if we get to a Hurricane Pete, that means there have been 16 other named storms.
I got a bone to pick with the hurricane list, though, man.
What's that?
Because they start every year. They pick names. I don't think it's A through Z, though. I think they skip some letters. Am I right?
There's no Z. It just goes down to Wanda, actually.
That stinks for people named Zach. But the thing is, every year they start at A. You know, what if you have a name that starts with a W or a Z? You know? You never really get your chance.
Do you think we should pick up where last year's list ended?
See, I think once you use the name, then the name Hurricane Alexandra or something. Right. Once that's used, swap out that name, but move to B. And keep going down. Don't lose your place going down. But every time you use a name, replace it so you get back to the top, and it's like Hurricane Alex or something. I don't know why I'm obsessed with like the Alexandra names, but yeah.
Well, the A name this year is Anna with one N. Then there's Bill, Claudette, Danny, Elsa, Fred, Grace, Henri, not Henry, because it's Henri, so it's Henri. Ida, Julian, Kate, Larry, Mindy, Hurricane Mindy.
There we go.
Nicholas, Odette, Peter, Rose, Sam, Teresa, Victor, and Wanda.
I love you, Wanda, but hopefully we don't get to you.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Yeah.
But as I've always said, it only takes one. You know, I mean, we could have one hurricane all year, but if it's the one that is aimed at you, then you might think it's been a bad hurricane season.
We haven't had a hurricane. Like a serious hurricane in a little while. I remember one when I was a little bit younger. We lost power, but it still wasn't super crazy.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
It has been a couple of years.
Yeah.
All right, here's the amazing rescue story I mentioned from over the weekend. It's a story about a pregnant woman who rescued 3 drowning children from Lake Michigan. I guess they had better weather for their Memorial Day weekend than we had. Alyssa DeWitt was just enjoying a day at the beach with her kids on Lake Michigan when she saw somebody struggling in the water. DeWitt, who is 5 months pregnant, rushed over to the pier and saw 3 kids who had been pulled under by the strong rip currents. She called 911, but she knew rescuers were not going to get there in time. So she decided to take action. She laid down on her stomach on the pier and tried to pull the kids up, who were all under the age of 15. She tried to get them back onto the pier. Alyssa told WPBN, every time I would get them partway up, a wave would smash them back down. She struggled to pull the kids up as the waves kept forcing them back under the water. She says, this part will stick with me forever. This girl looked at me and said, I'm going to die. It makes me cry every time I think about it. She said, I promise you I am not going to let you die out here, and I will get you out of this water. Miraculously, DeWitt was able to pull all 3 kids from the water before rescuers arrived. She posted on her Facebook page, then the adrenaline kicked into high gear, and somehow I did it. The kids suffered minor injuries, and DeWitt went to the emergency room just as a precaution. But doctors said that to both DeWitt and her baby are just fine.
That's what I was worried about. When it said she lied down on her stomach, I was like, oh, no. But
well, fortunately, I think at 5 months, she would be showing.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a very large baby bump. But I don't know. If you saw something happening like that, would you jump into action and help out?
I would hope that I would. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a situation that you don't know until you do it. But I would really hope that I would in like an emergency situation like that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. The question about COVID this morning. Have you been vaccinated? We have.
Yes.
We are your totally vaxxed YouTube show.
There we go. Yeah.
But I actually, the family was a little upset with me. Not so much you. but other
Because
members,
I'm the only reasonable Braley. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to throw shots
could
out
say
here.
that.
But yeah, everyone did get mad at you.
family was a little upset because after my second shot, I ended up getting the Pfizer. After my second shot, I had no symptoms.
Yeah. And all of us had some sort of reaction.
Right. Either the fatigue or the body aches. Or
Yeah,
the
I was down
chills.
for like probably 10 hours. I remember it happened like in the middle of the night. I got a fever and chills and the body aches, and so I was down for like 10 to 12 hours, and then it just goes away. It's pretty crazy.
We joked around that I've had so many other things. How would I notice?
Yeah.
If there was something going on. But the only thing I had was, maybe, and it was almost 24 hours after the shot. I get very tired.
Yeah.
I just wanted to sleep.
Yeah,
That's
we were
all.
supposed to rehearse that day, but we didn't.
That's right.
We didn't. We took
That's
a day
right.
off.
That was last Friday.
Yes, sir.
So the question has come up. With COVID vaccinations over 50% and transmission numbers dropping, is it safe to hug again? Are you a hugger? You're not a hugger.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm a hugger.
I'm just a very awkward person. And if you see me in public, I apologize in advance. But yeah, I'm very awkward. So like if there's a hug or some sort of situation, that's like when the whole handshake thing bothers me immensely. How there's a million different ways to greet somebody. You could handshake. People my age, we like dap each other up sometimes, but there's like 3 different versions of that. Okay. So you never really know what you're getting into, and if you do it wrong, it's the most embarrassing thing in the world.
I was going to say, I shouldn't try to dap.
No. You should strictly handshake.
Okay.
That's what you should do.
I don't like handshaking, though. I've always, especially in the wintertime, you go to church and somebody goes, oh, hi.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, that's one thing, like, can we keep that going from the pandemic? Can we just, why don't we just, from a distance, like, hey, how's it going? Or like the nod or the smile.
I was a fan of the head bob.
The thumbs
I was
up.
like, hey.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm good with that. That's good for awkward people like me. I mean, you really can't mess that up. Well, no, awkward people definitely could, but you know.
It's automatic, though. You know, it's I met somebody just last week. I was doing a baseball game and ran into my friend Bruce David, who is with Bishop Stang, and right away he put his hand out. So I went with my elbow.
See, that I give you props because that's I feel like the hardest thing is when someone reaches out their hand. It's how do you say no to that? Like, how do you be like, oh, sorry? Like that's really rude if you don't shake their hand.
Right.
So yeah, but maybe we can keep that going from the pandemic. Just. Let's just wave from a distance.
The other thing I never realized was blowing out candles on a birthday cake.
I'm so glad that I will not be doing that for the rest of my life.
I never realized.
Yeah, I never really thought of that, but it is disgusting.
How does the joke go? I was today years old when I found out we're spitting on the cake.
Yeah, no, I'm never doing that again. That's just thinking back. I'm so disgusted that I ever did that, and then I ate cake from people that did that as well.
There's a birthday cake, right? It's right here. And then
let me spit all over it. Yeah.
I mean, you're not spitting on the cake, but
some
it's
people
getting
might.
There.
Exactly. I mean, there's germs being spread.
Charlie's on my lap. Can you see Charlie?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie's like, what are you doing?
We're going to be out of a job because people are just going to want an hour of us putting Charlie in a chair, and that's it.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I won't even set all this up. I'm just going to put Charlie in the chair.
What did we do on your last birthday? Did we? I know on mine. I believe I just kind of waved.
Yeah, I took a birthday card and waved it out. That's what I did. Yeah. They are making. I did see they're making a sort of straw-looking thing that you can use to blow out candles, and it supposedly like blocks the germs. I think that's too much work, though. Honestly, the whole candle thing, I would be totally fine if someone gave me an unlit cake. And don't even sing me happy birthday. I hate it when people sing happy birthday to me. It is the most, I think we can all agree. It's the most awkward, how long is happy birthday? 30 seconds? It's the most awkward 30 seconds ever. What are you supposed to do? Like, who do you look at, first off? Do you just, because you don't want to stare people. I just stare at the cake. I just stare at the cake because it's super awkward. I mean, you don't sing along with it because that's weird.
I am going to research that today. When that all started. As far not so much singing because
blowing out the candles.
Yeah, blowing out the candles. When did that become a thing? So let me look into that today.
Like I said, I'd be totally fine if someone. Honestly, I'll probably catch some flack for this. I'm not even a big cake person. Like I eat cake at like special events to be nice. Cake. Yeah, I'm more of like a salty snack guy than a sweet. Okay. So basically, on my birthday, give me a box of goldfish, and we'll call it a day. Don't sing to me. Yeah,
there you go.
That's it.
That explains. His physique and my physique as to who likes cake.
Yeah.
So I started this story about COVID to get to whether or not it was safe to hug again. And the answer from the experts, so-called experts, is it depends, okay? Vaccinated people can hug other vaccinated people without worrying about it. So if I could reach you, I could hug you, okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Good thing we can't reach each other.
Unvaccinated people should not hug other unvaccinated people. But what if one of you is vaccinated? Dr. Robert Wachter from the University of California says you're probably still safe, but you have to consider whether the small risk is worth it. He points out that in a lot of cases, we're talking about a vaccinated grandparent maybe hugging an unvaccinated grandchild for the first time in more than a year. Don't fall, Charlie. Everybody's going to be concerned about Charlie falling.
Charlie, just relax, my man.
There is a tiny risk, but the grandparent who's vaccinated is unlikely to transmit to the child. The kids don't get sick very often. And then in terms of the kid having it and transmitting it to the grandparent, that too is unlikely. Experts say you should avoid hugging and kissing in groups.
That's my favorite part of the article. That is my favorite part. Why? Who kissing in groups? Like what? What are you doing with your free time, man? I mean, before the pandemic, I questioned that. Like, what are you doing?
It does say like at religious services.
I mean,
you mean like this would be people giving you a kiss on the cheek or something?
I still don't support it at all. That's weird. No, don't come near me.
And if you do hug an unvaccinated person, make sure
Charlie, what are you doing?
Make sure your heads are facing in the opposite direction.
Let's get a close up of whatever's happening here.
Well,
yeah,
he's fascinated by something, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. We do have some live chats.
All right.
Pauline Gomes said, "So nice to see you back." So thank you,
thank you
for chatting.
Yes.
Abby Braley, what's up, Abby?
Abby.
She says, "Hey guys, love the show," and she also said, "I feel so awkward when people sing Happy Birthday to me." Thank you. It is the weirdest tradition that I wish would just stop. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I guess if you're a person that doesn't like the attention being focused
I don't mind
on
attention, though.
Oh,
I mean, I've sang in front of people. I'm doing a talk show in front of people. I don't mind attention. I feel like it's the most awkward attention, though. What are you doing?
Anybody saying good morning to Charlie?
Yeah, there we go. No, not yet. But Charlie has a bunch of fans, so everybody loves him.
Got to build your fan club here.
Yeah, there we go.
I guess, now that you mention it, I think when anybody sings happy birthday to me, you're right. I get kind of goofy, right? Don't I go, oh, thanks.
Yeah. You just, it's like just whatever you can think to like take the attention off the awkwardness.
Yeah.
That's all you can do in that situation. The other one on the theme of birthday parties is when you're reading birthday cards in front of people. I never know if you're supposed to like read it out loud.
Yeah.
Read it to yourself. Everyone's staring at you when you read it, you know.
Can I give a true confession here?
Yeah.
I don't like that part. It's like I
like opening my gifts later.
Yeah, and you want to get down, Charlie?
Do you need me to grab them, or you got it? There we go.
We'll see where he goes. You know when people they take their birthday cards and they start reading them, and honestly, I just find myself sitting there going, "Can we get to the gift?" Or actually, I'm saying, can we get to the cake?
I mean, just gifts entirely. I feel like it's a thing to kind of do by yourself later and maybe send them like a thank you note or like a thank you text. I also think thank you notes are, I don't know, like a big thing like a wedding. Maybe you should write thank you notes, but I think a thank you text is just as good nowadays. Yeah.
That's kind of a lost art, I think, thank you notes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it's definitely still a thing for big events, I feel like a wedding or... What else is there? What other big events are there?
The birthday card industry, though, has really taken a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, do you send cards to anybody?
I don't send cards to anybody. The only thing I can think of is if I ever go to like a birthday party, you're kind of obligated to bring something.
Oh, so you stop at a store and get a card.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been to a birthday party, and I don't even know how long. But yeah, so that's the only time I'll probably give somebody a card.
I just had a flashback to the kids' parties we used to take you to.
Oh, yeah.
You get to a point where there's no more kids parties, you know.
Yeah, growing up sucks, man. They really don't tell you this. I don't know if I mentioned this in yesterday's show, but like growing up, they hype it up. You know, all you want to do is grow up.
Yeah,
and
you can't
then
wait
you
to
get
be an
here
adult.
and you're like, oh, okay, so some of the stuff is true. Some of the fun stuff, you know, like making money is true.
And
They don't tell
you can stay up as late as you want.
well, which is a problem that I found because I was like, oh, I can stay up as late as I want. And now I'm doing a talk show at 8 o'clock in the morning and I wake up hating my life. But yeah, no, they hype it up and then they're like, you can make money. And then you realize that to make that money, you're miserable. So that sucks. And then there's just a lot of details they don't factor in, like insurance. No one tells you about insurance.
Yeah.
But there's no like easy anything about insurance.
Well, you've had an idea. You mentioned it to me once, I think.
Which I do. I have too many ideas.
Yeah. You had an idea of writing a book about the things they don't prepare you for in school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
I'm definitely still thinking about it.
Yeah. One of them is like you said, buying insurance.
But would I scare everyone from growing up though? Is that the issue? Is that why they don't tell you those things? So that you don't just try and stay a kid for your life? I mean, my goal is to stay a kid for my entire life, so we'll see.
If you find out how to stay a kid for life,
we'll see it. I mean, I'm already succeeding. I live at home with my parents, so I got that going for me.
I told you about this TikTok the other day, which, by the way, we'll get into this tomorrow about Matt's first reaction when he found out I was on TikTok.
Yeah. I think we need to get all the siblings in on that. Because I like TikTok, and I use TikTok, and I've grown on TikTok. But yeah, it was pretty funny getting everyone's... And Trish, too. Trish's opinion of you on TikTok is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. She has a heart. She's like, are you on that TikTok again?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, that's where...
She's very judgmental about that.
I actually learn things from TikTok.
That's the thing I don't think people realize, and we can get into this more tomorrow.
Right.
But TikTok gears you to whatever you're interested in. Like, it kind of figures you... Which is the scary part about technology and social media. But it gears into what you're fascinated in. And so I see you on TikTok, and it's all like documentary stuff that like I would hate to see.
You see what I'm doing? What I'm doing?
Well, just no. When I walk by, like I see you on your iPad or something. And it's like history stuff,
but life hacks.
Yeah,
There's
so it's
a lot of,
like,
they call them, for those of you that don't know, they call them life hacks, and these are little tricks you can use to get things done, you know?
Yeah, so I feel like people automatically think that it's like 12-year-olds dancing, but that's the case if you're 12, you'll probably get those videos, or if you're a creepy, pedophile.
I actually don't get those. Is it because I'm spending time...
It's whatever you like, whatever you watch for a long period of time, they know what that video is about, and so they show you more videos like that. So like I get a lot of music videos and music production videos and audio production videos, and so it's based on what you want. So I think that's where it comes from, is people are like, oh, great, Dad's watching like childish things.
12-year-olds dancing.
Exactly, but that's not the case.
All right, we'll get more into that, but the reason I bring up TikTok is because I was telling Matt about this the other day, that I was watching one where it was a young woman, maybe 20-something in her early 20s, and she's in her car talking to her camera, and she says, I couldn't believe I'm in Target with my mother, and I have all these things in my cart that I needed. And all of a sudden my mother said, okay, I'll wait for you in the car. I'll meet you in the car. And my mother takes off, and I'm like, I have to pay for all this stuff?
They don't tell you that when you're a kid.
Mom, my mother left. I had to pay for all this stuff.
That's like now when we go out. This happens a lot like in Virginia, is when we all go out to eat, everyone kind of takes a turn to pay.
Yes.
And when we were kids, we didn't have money. You guys always paid. But now, we go to Chick-fil-A or something, and I got to be nice. I got to pay sometimes. It's tough growing up, man.
Welcome to the world.
They don't tell you these things. Abby says that would be a long book, Matt. That is very true. See, that's the problem, is how do I limit it to...
Well, then you can have volume 2.
What do I want to tell people?
Volume 2.
Chapter 1's how to change a tire.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody talks about that.
Very rarely does anybody teach you how to change a tire.
Chapter 2 would probably be how to write a check. I still don't know how to write a check. I have to look up, either I ask Trish or I look up on Google how to write a check.
Do you really?
It's so like, you got to write out the number here. You got to put the number here. You got to do a little line with a little fraction. It's way more complicated than I feel like it has to be. I also think checks are becoming irrelevant.
I agree.
I think checks and cash are irrelevant. It amazes me.
You think cash is already?
No, not yet. But I think it will be and should be, because cash is disgusting. It does surprise me, because I work in retail. It surprises me how many people still pay with cash, and how many people. A lady the other day, she comes up to me at the register and she's paying. I'm like, is it going to be cash or card today? And she's like, it's going to be cash. And she's digging through her purse and she's like, where is it? She was like, I lost $600. And I'm like,
what?
Why are you carrying $600?
Really?
You know, like that's surprising. Or the people that pull out wads of like 50. I'm like, why are you doing this?
I'm always afraid
like,
when I do have cash.
Yeah.
And that's rare. But when I do have cash, I'm always reluctant to bring out to show somebody behind me
that
exactly. I have a lot of cash.
That's like
on
these
me.
people literally pull out wads of cash, and I think it's for clout. I think they're trying to act cool in front of everybody, but. Yeah. I mean, I'm literally making minimum wage as a retail job. I don't care about you. That's just the fact. If you're pulling out cash, I'm not impressed. That's probably happened like 10 times today.
I did find that when I was down at Virginia Beach, I started using my card more often because, right, you and your brothers and sisters, they don't use cash. They use their debit card.
Yep.
And they use that card everywhere. And I never really thought about it, but it's the same as cash, right? Pretty much.
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
It's money that you have.
Yeah.
It's not credit.
So I started doing that too. I started because I used to go to the ATM every Friday and get so much cash.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. But when I was in Virginia, I got to the point where I was like, well, I don't really need the cash because they don't have cash. So why should I? And I got to the point where I used my card. And it's pretty much continued. I've been home for a little more than a month.
But now it works out perfect because if like all the kids, like if we all go out to eat and one person pays, because typically that's what happens.
Right.
We can all just transfer each other the exact amount.
Right. Right.
As opposed to, oh, I have a 20, do you have a 10? Oh, I need change for this. Do you have this? And you can never give somebody exact change. Literally, we can, to the cent, we can give each other what we owe each other. And so, I mean, not everybody pays on time. I'm not going to call people out on here, but
you could.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to. I mean, there's multiple. I mean, everybody kind of takes it. It's funny. Everyone takes a turn out of the 4 Braleys. Everyone takes a turn not paying on time, and then everybody rashes on that person, and then the next time it's a different person. So like we all rash saying like, oh, you never pay on time, and then like we don't pay on time.
It's a good thing you all take turns.
Exactly. Yeah.
I still think you should write that book. How many people?
We'll see.
How many people think you should write that book about things they don't teach you in school?
Listen, I mean, I see. It's a tough thing where I have a bunch of books that I want to write. Not a big fan of writing. That's an issue.
I had enough of an issue getting one written, and you've got all these ideas. Huh?
Well, I had to write a thesis. I had to write a 30-page thesis to graduate from college. It ended up being like 45 pages, which surprised me. But it was the most painstaking process of my life.
Just because you just don't write.
Well, I write, but I write the way I talk, and that college doesn't like that. College doesn't like you writing the way you talk.
Yeah, but, didn't they get back to you and say, we want you to be more
formal,
more scholarly?
Yep. And I fought until the last dying
and
breath.
Your response was, I want someone to read it.
I was like, well, I don't really want to. And they were like, well, okay. And then like later on, they kept saying it. And I was like, you know what? If I'm just going to finish this, I just need to do what they say. Lori Howard Wagner said, I very rarely have cash. Since we moved to Maine, everyone uses checks, and it amazes me. Everyone uses checks. See, that really surprises. My biggest thing, and thank God, we actually, where I work, we got bought out by a different company, and they stopped accepting checks. But we used to accept checks, and it would be the most annoying thing because sometimes checks, like, depending on who your bank is, like it just might not go through, and then it prints out like a number they have to call. Then they have to, and this is all at the register, and it's making
Slowing
a line.
Everybody
down. And they have to like call and get it approved, and then we got to run it through the machine. The machine is like 50 years old, and it's just that surprises me that people use checks that much.
I remember, times being at the grocery store, and you'd see that the person in front of me is using a check.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be here forever.
It is hilarious to me how long people take to complete a transaction at a store. Really? Yeah, it bothers me greatly. I went out on Black Friday one day. This was probably like 4 years ago. So technically, I wasn't even I was probably an adult 4 years ago, and I'm still not an adult. Whatever. The point is, I was out on Black Friday, and the line was super long because people were just taking forever, arguing about discounts, which we can get into another time. That drives me crazy. But these transactions were taking so long, and so I said to the person I was with, I said, watch. I said, we'll be out of here in 30 seconds. Once I get up there. And I went up there, I had my money, my card in hand. Right. I had everything. I knew what the sale was. And I organized it. This is the thing. If you're doing sales like BOGO sales, organize it together, the items that are BOGO, and it makes everything go faster. So I went up there, and sure enough, I was out of there in less than 30 seconds. It's not that hard to shop, but people make it very difficult. Yeah. You should always have the attitude that you're going to make it the easiest possible for the cashier. They're getting paid minimum wage. Don't make their life harder. They don't want to be there. They're debating quitting the job every day. I guarantee it. I speak from personal experience.
You are the spokesman.
Exactly. So don't make their life harder, okay? They're just trying. And they got a lot of other stuff going on. So they're just trying. We have some chats here. Hold on. Pauline Gomes says, my granddaughter left for California this morning. She has her plane ticket, her hotel, and everything else in her phone. No cash at all. I mean, it's kind of safer. I would say it's safer if you keep an eye on your cards, like your bank accounts online. Yeah. Because if you ever lose your card, or if anyone ever steals your card, you can freeze it automatically as long as you're paying attention. Right. Whereas cash, if it's stolen, it's stolen.
And I'm trying to think I'm trying to think what you would need cash for. I mean, you could buy a sandwich in one of those airport sandwiches. You can buy a sandwich with your debit card. You can do. How about if you wanted to tip the sky cap? Is there a way to do that? I mean, you have to have what, Venmo?
Yeah, well, that's if they accept it. Yeah, a lot of places are doing that though, which I really agree with. I think it surprises me when I go to a place that's cash only. I really don't think you can be a business nowadays and be cash only. I think you have to accept, which credit, like card, the service of being able to use cards actually does take money away. Like you have to pay a certain fee, the business does, to use that. So I get that, but I mean, like Venmo or something, you got to have something. People don't carry cash.
I'm trying to think, what you would need cash for when you're flying, and that's about the only thing would be a tip. Yeah. I would think.
Yeah, in most places, like you said, like let's see, I'm trying to think. Where I get my haircut, you can tip with Venmo. So that's pretty much it.
Do we have something else?
Yes. Or? Abby says, yes, I hated when I worked at a grocery store and people would whip out their checkbooks, slowed everything down. It really is that once you see the checkbook come, or the worst was when
it's like, dun,
the worst was when they asked, do you accept check? Because you have to say yes, but you want to murder that person. So it's tough. Abby also says cashiers have no say on the sales or store policies. Don't take it on them. Absolutely. And I want to save this for another show because I have a lot of opinions on that. Okay. But people need to wake up when they're shopping. That's all I'm saying. You need to use some critical thinking skills when you are shopping. Okay? If you're yelling at a cashier for sales that they do not get paid enough to make, I guarantee that the person that made those sales has never stepped foot in a store. So if you want to get mad, call corporate. Don't mess with us. That's all I'm saying. But that'll be it for
we'll have to reserve today. Yeah, maybe tomorrow or tomorrow's what?
Yeah, I got a lot of opinions on that. If you want me to go off,
sure. All right. You have a nice cold glass of water.
I know. I need to calm down. I'm getting a little amped up here.
All right. So why is he in the boot? What'd you do to yourself now?
Again, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, it's, by the way, I did write about it in the book, which is still available at Amazon.com.
Yes, sir.
But for those of you that don't know, I have something called alkaptonuria. It's referred to as AKU. And it's one of those diseases that I know my doctor, most doctors learn about it in their first year of medical school, and then they never deal with it again.
It's very rare.
Until I come along.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have this, which is basically, I have a missing enzyme. I don't know why they couldn't just inject me with the enzyme, but I guess
don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a missing enzyme which causes the cartilage in my joints to crystallize, and it can cause problems with tendons too, and also some heart issues and things. If you've ever noticed, like my eyes,
you could probably see it. Yeah.
Those dark things in my eyes, those are crystal deposits, and that's why I don't have the most beautiful eyes. But
don't say that, Pete. I'm sure many people will say that you do.
I've had both hips replaced. I've had both knees replaced. I've had both shoulders replaced. I ruptured the left Achilles tendon at a baseball practice.
My baseball practice.
It came up in my memories 6 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That'd be about right.
Everybody that was at that practice remembers hearing it happen, except for me. I don't remember. No, I didn't hear the sound. I just remember you like limping off the field, and I went over to like see what was good, but everyone heard it because they said it was loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't hear it.
What I did, we were out behind second base on a baseball field, and I was trying to show the outfield what a drop step was. You know how you drop your foot back, and So
Yeah, don't do it right
No.
now. Yeah.
So I dropped and it popped, but it was like a bang
Yeah.
because that is incredible tension
Yeah.
on that Achilles. It is stretched incredibly tight, and when mine blew, it was like a gunshot going off.
And I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. I have no idea what was happening, but I did not hear it. Or maybe I did and I just don't remember it.
I remember leaning on. Remember, Coach Steve was
that's
a big,
right.
tall guy, so
Yep,
I
Spooch.
leaned on him,
Yep.
and I was like, "Okay, help me get to the bench."
Yep.
You might have been in the dugout because I think we got back to the bench, and I said, "Call your mother."
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't really remember. I just remember like calling mom, and then I think did she? I don't know if she drove because of course we were on the farthest field
Yes.
away from the parking lot.
She could
It's
not.
probably like 100 yards.
She could not get the car all the way out. So,
Yeah, so I think she
we
brought
had to-
crutches,
yeah.
and we had to. Yeah, that's what it was.
So that was and so now I'm dealing with the right Achilles, and what happened was I was down at Virginia Beach, and I started to notice a pain in my foot, and I didn't know what it was. I talked to my youngest daughter, Kat, who is an athletic trainer now. She is the head athletic trainer at Norton High School.
Shout out, Kat.
Yeah. So I talked to Kat and explained what it was. We thought it was a retrocalcaneal bursitis or something like that.
And if you're like me, you have no idea what that is.
Right. It's bursitis in your foot.
Yes, bursitis.
And so anyway, when I could finally get to a doctor, when I get back here, that would be about middle of May.
Yep.
He took a look at it using ultrasound, and I have a partial tear in my right Achilles tendon. So it didn't rupture.
Yeah.
It
It's like
didn't-
halfway through, I think, right?
Yeah. But it's a partial tear. Or as your mother said, it's ripped. It's not a partial tear. To which we said, what's
It's
the difference
the same
between
thing.
a tear
Yeah.
and a rip?
Yeah.
So the reason I'm in the boot is I got a PRP injection. Now, a PRP is it stands for platelet-rich plasma, and what they do is they actually draw blood out of your arm, and then they take and use some kind of machine where they spin it off. They spin off the red cells, the white cells, and they're left with this little bit of plasma. These platelets, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And what they do is they inject that using ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
He injects it, and he tries to put it right in the tear.
Yeah.
So what the hope is that it will encourage healthy growth of new cells, and it will remove the old damaged cells from the site of the injury. And basically, it lets you take control of your body's healing processes, accelerating them and getting you back on your feet faster. So the time frame is I have 2 weeks in the boot, and unfortunately, it's my right foot. So can you give me a ride?
Yeah, I guess. Guess I don't have a choice.
Yeah, so I'm in the boot for 2 weeks, and then for 2 weeks, the boot comes off, and I go to physical therapy, and then they do it again. Then they
Got to do the entire process over.
They will do the whole thing again. We'll go 2 weeks in the boot, 2 weeks without. And the hope is that, everything turns healthy and we can avoid surgery, which is our main goal.
Yes.
And so that's, and yes, it is probably related to the AKU. So.
Yeah, because you had the surgery on the other one, obviously, and you were in a cast for how long? I felt like it was a long time.
It was the whole summer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were in a boot for a while.
It was a good
and-
3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hopefully we can avoid that.
yes, that
Fingers
would be
crossed.
nice.
Yes.
So that and the good news is it feels pretty good. Even when I take the boot, I can take the boot off to sleep and to shower.
Yep.
So when I take it off at night, it feels pretty good. So I guess we're getting there.
Yeah.
So all right.
I think that's going to do it for today, then.
Yeah, that'll do it for today. Hope you have a good. It looks like a good Wednesday
Yeah.
here in southern New England. Abby is chatting with us from Vermont.
Yes,
so,
sir.
I'm sure it's almost spring in Vermont.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, it's probably still snowing right now.
well, they have in Vermont they have snow on the ground, and then they have mud season, and then after mud season comes spring. If I
have
get
we
it
gone
right.
up there in mud season?
We have
I don't.
in mud season.
Yeah, I don't know if I've experienced that firsthand.
No. Okay.
I don't know.
We'll have to work something out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll do it for us today. Remember, there are different ways to reach us.
Yes. When we're live like this, you can hit us in the live chat, and as you saw, I'll read them off to Pete, and we can talk about whatever you say, as long as it's nice. Okay, positivity only. Other than that, if you're watching this later, feel free to comment on the video. We try and monitor those and stay up to date with those. Also, DM us on Instagram and Facebook, and we have an email at thepetebraleyshow@gmail.com.
All right. What's up for you today?
Doing some stuff for the show. We got to plan tomorrow's show and get that ready to go. And then I'm still taking that music course, so I'll be working on that today.
We'll have to find out more about that.
Yeah, it's kind of the beginning steps, so there's nothing too exciting yet. But yeah, should be writing some songs soon.
For me, oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I get to head on out to the Hawthorne Medical Conglomerate.
Yes. Oh, that means I have to drive you there. So that's
Could you?
also what I'll be
Could you?
doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to figure out which building we have to go.
Yeah.
There's like, what, 3 buildings out there now? They need their own traffic cop, too.
Yeah, I have no idea. They need like a map in the beginning so you know like which way you're going. And there's like a million different parking lots. Where do I drop you off?
A little concierge, maybe?
Yeah, right? I think they have like valet or something.
They do have valet
yeah,
parking.
I saw that last time and I was like, there really is valet here and this is strange. Yeah.
All right, we leave you with this thought for the day. Our thought is, you will never win if you never begin.
There we go.
You will never win if you never begin.
I'm inspired.
Basically, get up off that couch or whatever and accomplish what you... If you keep thinking about it, saying, someday I'll do this. Someday I'll do that.
Make today that someday.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yes.
All right, so we hope you have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So I'm Pete Braley saying make it a good day. Matt?
Yeah, peace.